So it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we are back with an AEW Dynamite review, and let's get into it. Let's get straight into it. We started off with a Jon Moxley promo package, where it basically seemed like this took place after WrestleDrop, and this made the whole situation feel very serious between Jon Moxley and what he did to Bryan Danielson. I liked the way they did the promo package. I thought it was really, really cool, and it felt like a real war was brewing within AEW, and I really liked that. It intrigued me, got me interested in what to expect. I'm not sure they really capitalized on that later on in the show, but we'll get into that. But then to kick off the show, we had MJF and Adam Cole in a little promo thing. So firstly, Adam Cole comes out, cuts a promo on. He talks about the fact that MJF betrayed him, which I'm not quite sure actually happened, and that we all now see the real MJF, the MJF he saw behind the scenes. And I think to myself, that was the MJF we all knew. We all knew MJF was this guy. You the one that kind of turned him into a face to start with. So yeah, this whole storyline doesn't make sense to me. The roles should be absolutely reversed. Adam Cole should be the heel, and MJF should be the face. And I understand that's not possible now because MJF is a heel. But it's quite simple what you do from there. You just don't run with the storyline at that point. And I know that sounds silly, but in my opinion, you just do not do the storyline because, yes, injuries got in the way, and that is a perfectly fine reason to not carry on with the storyline. Injuries got in the way. It's just not going to make sense now because other stories have progressed, so move on with it. That's what they should have done. But no, Adam Cole has turned himself into the biggest hater, saying he hates basically the way MJF talks, the way he walks, you know the drill. He's the biggest hater. Yeah, then MJF with the fake entrance comes out, but he doesn't actually come out, and instead he's on the big screen sitting in some fancy little area by a fireplace and a glass of wine. Yeah. Then MJF blames his dark side on Adam Cole, and I'm thinking to myself, sure, maybe that's why you're the way you are right now since your face turn. But that doesn't explain your dark side prior to all of this. That doesn't explain any of that, So I don't understand where they are going with this. I don't understand any of this. But yeah, Adam Cole then challenges him to a match. MJF says he will never get in the ring with Adam Cole, so he's scared. In other words, that's pretty much what I've come to this conclusion. I don't care about the storyline for the simple fact that the continuity is messed up. And that is not either of their faults. Injuries got in the way. That's just life. But did we need to carry on with this? Did we need to run with it in this manner? I don't think so. Anyway, after that we had FTR taking on Brian Keith and Big Bull. Decent tag team match, decent tag team wrestling, nothing special, nothing bad, just standard stuff. Big Bull looked great as per usual. I'm really liking Big Bull in the role that he's playing. I'm not saying he should go on to win titles or whatever, but in the role that he's playing, I'm really enjoying Big Bull. Nice finish. FTR land there. What is their finisher called now? Why am I forgetting this? They land their finish on Brian Keith. 1, 2, 3. That's done. Then the Outrunners come out. Not sure why. Have a moment with FTR. It's like the 80s are back together. I don't know what that was about. I think I've missed some stuff over the weeks. I haven't really been keeping up with Dynamite and Collision in that manner. But yeah, they came out they got a good reaction, surprisingly, for a team that's fairly new to the AEW scene. We then had Mercedes Moné taking on Queen Aminata, and I was excited for this match personally. This match was probably the one match on the show that I was like, okay, I'm going to make sure I watch this, and it's going to be damn good. But I don't know, it kind of felt sloppy. It didn't live up to the expectations I had for the match. Maybe that's my fault. Maybe my expectations were too high. But it just kind of felt like it didn't hit the way it could have. They could have really had a good match on the show. Queen Aminata can go in the ring. Mercedes Moné can go in the ring. But it feels like Mercedes Moné can only go in the ring when she has the right opponent lately. I don't know what that's about. I don't know what that's about. Everyone is blaming the opponents, but maybe Mercedes is also the problem here. But anyway, let's move on from that. Mercedes Moné ended up getting the win after she tapped out Queen Aminata. We then had the conglomerate, which was Rocky Romero, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly taking on the Elite. with Okada being around as well and the Young Bucks. Yeah, typical stuff that you expect from them early on in the match. Young Bucks doing Young Bucks things, Orange Cassidy doing Orange Cassidy things. Exactly what you'd expect is what we got. That was until Wheeler Yuta came in and attacked Orange Cassidy with a big running knee, got the DQ, and then the BCC came out and attacked everybody. Then other people came out, like the Dark Order came out. There was Action Andretti and Top Flight came out, or Top Flight in general came out, and they all just got beat up. Then later on, I think Daniel Garcia came out and a couple others, and that basically got rid of the BCC. This is where I'm like, okay. Nobody mentioned Bryan Danielson on the show. Well, not nearly enough. We didn't get anything from the main guys, as in, where was Darby Allin on the show? Where was he? I think he had they showed something with Tony Hawk. Like, what is that going to do for the story? Why did Daniel Garcia not mention anything about Bryan Danielson? Why did Orange Cassidy not mention? Where was Hook? Was Hook even around? He might have been in this whole brawl, but I don't even see him. They didn't mention the people that when WrestleDream went off the air, that picture that was shown of them sitting at ringside, just in shock of what has happened. None of them mentioned any of this. None of them addressed the situation. And then we get to the brawl between the BCC and others, and you realize they're taking on Dark Order and Top Flight as well. They shouldn't be the main. Yeah, it's just frustrating. I feel like they missed with this. I feel like they didn't make us important enough by having the important people involved and talking about the important conversations. I still don't know what Jon Moxley's issue is. I suppose we'll find out in coming weeks, so I'm not too pressed about that. But I just feel it felt underwhelming. It felt really underwhelming. And it was a good start with their promo package early on in the night. Well, what can we do? We then had Shelton Benjamin taking on Lio Rush, and this was the highlight of the night. Shelton Benjamin looked absolutely fantastic in this match, but Lio Rush was bumping and selling his ass off for Shelton Benjamin, doing the most. It looked like he was on his Darby Allin today. It looked like he was going to kill himself between those ropes when he took bumps to the outside. I thought this guy's going to snap his neck on one of those ropes, but really, really great stuff from both men. Shelton looked like a beast, looked like he hadn't lost a step since like 2007. Absolutely great stuff. MVP at ringside was also fantastic. Just made it feel like this is easy. This is easy for Shelton, which clearly it was. I really enjoyed this. Shelton Benjamin with the win. We'll see where this goes. And then we had Don Callis family cutting a promo, looked like a press conference. I don't know what this was. When did Brian Cage join the Don Callis family? Did I miss this? Or is it just a thing now? Did it just happen? Anyway, Brian Cage is there. Lance Archer, obviously, we know, joined recently. Kyle Fletcher came out and Takeshita came out, and they all said nothing. They said they're not telling us why they did what they did. So what do I make of this segment? What do I say? Was this just to show us who's in the Don Callis family? I don't know what to make of it. Anyway, let's move on from that really quickly then. We then had Jay White taking on Christian Cage in our main event, in what was a pretty decent main event match. Really good stuff. Of course, it's Jay White, Christian Cage, two really good wrestlers. And then you're not going to get anything too fancy. You're not going to get anything too basic. You're going to get a really, really good main event, and that's what we got. But the one issue I have with this is, we know why they were fighting. Christian Cage interrupted a match or something along those lines before Jay White got injured or when he got injured. Okay, we know that happened. But my issue at hand is, why didn't they show a little promo package? Why didn't they give us a little bit more insight? Yes, the commentator spoke about it. Before anyone says anything, but the commentator spoke about it. Yes, they did for about a minute. You should be building to this main event from the opening segment of your show. You should be building to your main event to keep people around throughout the show. Because if you look at AEW's ratings, and I know people don't really care for ratings, but their main events are often the lowest points in their show. You want to keep people around. Start building your main events. Give us a little promo package. Show us what happened. Build up, make it feel more important, and people are more likely to stick around. But if you're going to mention why these two are fighting in the first 45 seconds of the match, it's too late then. It's too late then, in my opinion. And it's not enough. It's not enough. And I'm not asking for promo packages on every single person, because we know we get too much of that in WWE sometimes. And too many recaps within WWE sometimes. But just sometimes you need to do it to build up to your current match. That's all I'm saying. So, Dynamite was okay. It was decent. I just felt, I don't know, some storylines are the continuity is a problem right now. Continuity is a problem, and making things feel important is a problem. Sometimes it feels like they don't want to put stars up against each other. And I know that sounds contradictory because it's MJF, Adam Cole, it's Jay White, Christian Cage. But then you look at the BCC stuff and you look who they're up against. It's like, it's just not hitting. Something is not hitting. I'm going to give it time, though. This is not my final judgment on it. If it can pick up and we can start getting Garcia and Orange Cassidy, even though I don't like Orange Cassidy, but if we can start getting them more involved, Darby Allin, then I'll be happy. So, with that being said, that was AEW Dynamite. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.